Hey, Snaps, this is Tortimer the Great. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Crystal Wed'locke, Heptath'locke Season 2. And today we are picking up where we left off last episode, where we completed our first gym battle, got our Zephyr badge from Falconer, and then we are going to be continuing on south on Route 32. I love that they added, this is the first place where they kind of added those title cards popping up when you pop in and out of a route. I love that. So fantastic. Continuing on, I think this guy's gonna give me a miracle seed. Take this. Yes, so we get the miracle seed from there. We don't have a grass type yet, but we do have potential to catch one here soon. So we'll hold on to that. All right, so let's continue on, and there we go. First encounter on the route is a Rattata, and since we already have a Rattata, that is going to trigger the Dupes Clause. Let's go ahead and just get our encounter figured out here. Come on, let's do it. Hello? Anybody? Is there anybody in this grass? There we go. And another Rattata. Okay. Okay, so that's Dupes Clause number 2. Come on. Okay. Alright, and level 4 male Wooper. That's fun. Okay, alright, so let's put him to sleep. Ooh, didn't affect enemy Wooper. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm a little concerned. Let's try just catching him here. Enemy Wooper is fast asleep. Okay, so let's try just throwing a Pokeball here. We've got 7 of those. I'm a little worried that Luna might be able to kill him with one hit. Ooh, he popped out. We're just like, okay, let's risk 1 pound. Okay. And he's still asleep. Okay. That'll work. So we'll go ahead and throw up. Boom, baby. Gotcha. Wooper was caught. Wooper's newly added the Pokedex. Mucus membrane covers his body, touching it barehanded will cause a oh, okay. Got it. Give a nickname to Wooper. Yes. Alright, wait. It was a male, so pull up our nickname list here. And let's see. So, what would be a good name? Let's see what we've got. Why don't we go with, I'm going to nickname him Napoleon. Let's do that. I've got Napoleon and Josephine on my list, and he feels like a Napoleon to me. Oh, I wonder if I can fit it. Yeah, so yeah, no, we should be fine. Napoleon! Napoleon was sent to Bill's PC. Okay, alrighty, so there we go. We've got our encounter for Route 32. Now we can continue on. Everybody, Luna took a little bit of damage, but we're not too worried about that. Oh, and we got another. Ooh, a Ghastly. That could have been fun, too. Although I'm glad to get some Gen 2 Pokemon, so I guess I won't complain. Alright. Can't escape. Guess I use Lick. Doesn't affect. There we go. Alright, I think this guy has got, Nidorans? Or no, there used to be a girl on this route that had Nidorans. I don't know. This guy, youngster, has a Rattatas. Alright. Luna, let's go ahead and throw up the Sing really quickly. Beautiful. She lands it on the first shot. Add a girl. Alright, throw up a pound. Oh, Luna taking up the mantle of Queen of Crits from Sari from last season. Youch. Alright, about to use Zubat. We'll torch change Pokemon. Yeah, let's switch. Fiber can probably one-shot a Zubat, so why not? Get Fiber out here, get his Thunder Shot going. Boom, baby. Alrighty, fantastic. Youngster Albert was defeated. You're strong! It would seem that way, huh? Oop, there's an item over here. Oh, I think that's the girl. Ooh, a Repel. Nice. I think this is the lady here who's got Nidorans. So for that, let's go ahead and switch Guinevere and Lancelot up. Just because. In fact, we'll put Lancelot up top there. Alright. Yeah, you know, pardon, battle, I'm on the phone. All right, but make it fast. Okay, so my question here, I think this is the first person with a phone. She just has the one Nidoran, all right. I think this is the first person with a phone that we've come across. I wonder if it's going to force us to add her to our phone book or if we get a choice in the matter. I can't remember how this gen works. I'd love a choice in the matter because there's really only one person I want to add to my list, and that's the girl who's going to potentially give me a Thunderstone at some point. But, okay. It didn't make me automatically do it. Okay. This is the guy we battled already, right? Yes, okay. I went a roundabout and I got lost. Okay, so continuing on down here. Oop. Another encounter. What do we got? Bellsprout. Bellsprout would be good too. Although, if I'm being honest, I would love... If I'm going to get a grass Pokemon on my... an older grass Pokemon on my team, I want an Oddish. Because I'd love to get a Blossom going at some point. That glance, it's intriguing. Alright, there we go. We got a battle. Not only because I'd just love to use Gen 2 Pokemon in Season 2, but... oh, okay. We got other Nidorans over here that Lancelot can take care of it for us. I just really like Blossom. Blossom was on my honorable mentions list for my top 10 Johto Pokemon. If you guys haven't watched that episode, Blossom. In fact, really, there's a lot of Gen 2 grass Pokemon I would be very happy to have, even if some of them are garbage. I'd love to have a Jumpluff. I'd love to have a Sunflora. So yeah, the grass Pokemon. If we could get a Gen 2 one going, that'd be nice. All right, so let's pop over here and get this item. Found a Great Ball. Nice. That'll work. Oop, there we go. Rattata. Alright. Glad we caught Gohan in the Bellsprout Tower last episode. Yes, last episode. Because Dupes Clause led us to the Wooper, which is an exciting catch. Alright. In fact, let's we saw a lot of Lancelot, Guinevere, Luna, and Fiverr last episode. Let's get get Romeo and Juliet up here. Ooh, we might need to throw up a repel. In fact, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that after this one. We got a lot of trainers to battle today. Although we'll save it. We're getting out of the grass right here. I found some Pokemon in the grass. I think that they'll do. All right, yeah, let's do it, buddy. Let's do it. Youngster Gordon wants to battle. Youngster Gordon sent out Wooper. Yeah, so somebody we were having a discussion in. We still only have. We don't even have an elemental move yet. Ooh, that was a crit. Okay, not too worried about that. We were talking about generations in my Discord last week, maybe. I forget. It was semi-recently, but somebody raised the question. I think it was ECAT. You know, why do people love Gen 2 so much? And he was looking back at it from like today's perspective. But from somebody like me who played the original Red, Blue, Yellow on the Game Boy and then came into Gold, Silver, Crystal. The changes that they added in this generation were just huge. The day-night cycle, like right now I'm playing it at night, and so it's nighttime, and that changes the different Pokemon that we're going to encounter and things like that. That's freaking awesome. I think it's cool still today, but especially back in the day, looking back at Gen 1, and like, most of the sprites didn't even have color. If they did, it was one color. Most of the back sprites were hideous. Like, there was so many improvements that were made over the course of... Ooh, this thing lowered my defenses a fair bit. Let's bring Juliet out to finish off Goldeen here. Yeah. Don't want to... In fact, we've got a peck of our own. Let's peck back. Critical hit. That'll work. Romeo gained experience. Juliet gained experience. Sure, Ralph was defeated. Alright. We'll take it. But yeah, I mean, just the improvements that were made in this generation over Gen 1. I mean, you can't look at it back like... playing Gen 7 and then being like, man, Gen 2 really sucks. It's like, well, maybe comparatively. Although, honestly, I really like these older games, maybe even more than some of the newer ones. If only, like, obviously, like, back in the day, we were getting, like, huge improvements each generation. Like, Gen 2, we got the day-night cycle, we got new types, we got genders, we got breedings. Like, there was so much added in Gen 2 that was such a vast improvement over what we were doing in Gen 1. And I like playing Gen 1 still, but, you know, going into Gen 3, I didn't see what it was, but we'll switch into Juliet now that Romeo's level 12. Oh yeah, Magikarp. She can handle that, no problem. But, I mean, you know, going into Gen 3, then we had huge improvements like, okay, well, you know, now we've got, you know, vastly improved graphics. We have, they added, you know, that each move, they added nature's, I think nature's and abilities came in Gen 3. They added, you know, each move, like, so not all flying moves are physical necessarily, or not all water moves are special, but each move has its own different breakdown potentially. I mean, there was a lot of, like, core mechanics that were added in each subsequent generation, and I think that's kind of what we're missing in newer generations of Pokemon. Ooh, almost 15 Magikarp. In newer generations of Pokemon, they keep adding things like Z crystals or Mega Evolution, or like these gimmicky things that are kind of interesting, but that they don't even really carry on into the next game because it's nothing but a gimmick, and it doesn't really add anything core mechanic-wise to the game. And that's one of those things that I think that Pokemon has been missing, and that's why some of these newer generations, while fun initially, don't really stand up as well as some of these older generations, because they're not adding as much to the game. We've kind of hit a plateau with the improvements that Pokemon can make, and I mean, like, yeah, Gen 6 added fairy types or whatever, and that made a big core shift in the meta, but I mean, beyond things like that, like, nothing they've really done since, like, I don't know, since what I mean, what was the last big change? I mean, Gen 3 may have been it. I mean, things may have been pretty stable since then, and so they've turned to things like story and all that, which that's a whole separate discussion. You guys, for me, I like these older games because it's just kind of clean and to the point. Oh, Romeo's still up front. And there's not a whole lot standing in your way of what you need to do. Like even just like playing, I've been working through Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire on my 3DS because I want Romeo to be asleep, because I want to do the battle tree in Pokemon Sun, and I need some move tutors from Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire to get some of the moves I need, because you really can't just run through that battle tree with oh man, you really can't just run through the battle tree on Pokemon Sun with your in-game Pokemon. Like, you actually need to breed up and train some competitively viable Pokemon in order to get through that thing. Henry's about to send a Poliwag. Will Torch change Pokemon? Nope. Will not. Yeah. So I mean, even just playing those, like, everything's so slow. It feels so slow because, like, they made everything so fancy, but in the end, it's like I kind of just like the clean cut. I mean, that's one of the reasons I like Showdown so much, because it's just straight and to the point. We're just battling. And that's what I enjoy in Pokemon. And so some of these other things that are cool advancements, but they kind of just get in the way of what I'm actually here to do. I'm going to quick run back, and then we will continue and heal, and then we will continue on after a word from our sponsors. Alright, guys, so we're all healed up, and we're continuing. Oh, there's a Pokemon Center right here. Gosh darn it. How would you like to have this tasty, nutritious Pokemon? No. You don't want it? Then scram, shoot. There's a Pokemon Center right here. But yeah, so we're all healed up, and we're gonna head in to Union Cave, I think. We're skipping at present, so right now at our point in the game, we could also have gone to, I think, Route 36 and the Ruins of Alph, but I'm skipping both of those areas because I think we have a better chance for more useful encounters in both of those areas if we hold off for a little bit. I think once we get Surf, we can come back to the Ruins of Alph, and we can actually get a Natu, which is a Pokemon I've never actually used in-game, and would be actually very interested in doing so. But yeah, so we can get a Natu potentially at Ruins of Alph if we come back after we get Surf. And then I think Route 36 is the route that has Sudowoodo on it. And so that's another one. Like, once we get past Sudowoodo, or on the other side of Sudowoodo, I think there's better Pokemon available to us. And or if we decide we want to grab Sudowoodo. So, we'll torture Pokemon. Nope. So yeah, just we're skipping those routes intentionally, just with the intention of at some point doubling back and getting some more useful teammates further on down the road. Hopefully we won't need more useful teammates. Hopefully our teammates that we have will kind of do some work for us. But don't want to waste encounters now on like another Rattata or a Pidgey or something like that. All right, so Juliet is a little hurt. Since there happens to be a Pokemon Center right here, we are going to go ahead and heal. And then we're going to head on through the Union Cave here. We've got another encounter in there. Probably, it's a cave, so probably looking at a Zubat or something to that effect. Okay, this isn't a Flash Cave. That's awesome. Let's grab a X-Attack. Alright. Oop, and there's our encounter. What's it gonna be? A Wooper! That's kind of cool. We already have a Wooper, though, so we're gonna go ahead and run. That's Dupes Clause number 1. Let's just go ahead and see. I'm actually a little concerned. We're in this cave. Romeo doesn't have Geodude. That's Dupes Clause number 2. Romeo does not even have a water type attack yet, which is a little bit odd. I think by level 12 we should have an elemental attack. Onyx! Okay, Wild Onyx appeared. Well, we could get a Steelix at some point, potentially, I suppose, so that's kind of cool. Alright, so I guess we're just going to scratch. We don't have... Ooh, that's going to be our defenses lowering harshly. That worries me a little. Okay, yeah, we're not staying in on 2 of those. Probably a level 6 Onyx doesn't have anything that Juliet would be afraid of. Throw up a Mud Slap. Lowers his accuracy. Okay, he missed. Fantastic. Okay, there we go. Accuracy fell. Okay, and she can take that just fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and throw up a Pokeball, see how that's going to do for us. Juliet should be good. Ooh. Oh no, Pokemon Go broke free. Let's peck it. Let you Screech. Again. Let you Screech. We don't have Hypnosis on Juliet either. So let's throw up this other Pokeball. Ah, come on. Okay, let's try the Great Ball now. Come on, Onyx. Because a Steelix wouldn't be terrible at some point. No, oh, man! Crap. Yeah, and we can't switch into Luna. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else we can do. So we're going to throw these remaining Pokeballs and hope that Onyx decides to join the team. Oof. And the catch rate on this thing. Okay, and we're actually going to switch back into Romeo, since he doesn't have any defense lowers on at the moment. Well, now he does, but, alright, yeah, we unfortunately don't have anything... Oof! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! Critical hit. Please, Onyx, please! Oh, it broke my heart! Oh, Onyx, you're killing me! Oh, that's unfortunate. Onyx used Tackle. We are out of Pokeballs, so I guess bye, Onyx? It's a bit unfortunate. Alright, let's heal again real quick, and oop. Rattata! Well, that is unfortunate. We're out of Pokeballs, and we're out of encounters on this route. That stinks! That catch rate is too dang high, or too dang low, I guess would probably be more appropriate. Darn it. That would have been pretty sweet. If we could have gotten an Onyx early and then picked ourselves up a Steelix at some point, that would have been pretty nice for a run in this state of infancy. Alright. I guess realistically, I don't like to go up against rock and ground types. Until Romeo gets a water move, we really don't have anything better, I guess. So we're just going to kind of keep on keeping on. Oof. That's a little bit unfortunate. You really need to... In fact, let's, maybe we'll get lucky and, like, level 13 is the place to be. Come on, Rattata, push us over the edge here. Maybe? No, not even close. I don't even know how we got... So how did we get on... So, I forget. We were on a discussion of, like, the different generations and what they contributed, and for me, I've always been a fan of the old-style pixel art stuff, so... As beautiful as the 3D versions, the newer 3D versions are, it's always been one of the... Ooh, level 11. This is gonna be tough. Okay, Romeo can take that, though. Let's throw up some Leers. Ooh, Bind can be dangerous. I can't remember if they fixed it in Gen 2, or if we're just really screwed now. But okay, Romeo can still attack. Not very effective. Okay, a little worried about this. We really don't have any better options at this point. We don't have any fighting, and we don't have any grass, and we don't have any water. Romeo, buddy. I've always been a fan of the old-style pixel arts, and so as cool as the newer ones are, I do prefer, like, even like, so I give Gen 5 some crap, and ECAT always gets upset when I do, but one of the coolest, the best thing about Gen 5 was the sprites. They added full body animated pixel sprites, which are just awesome. I used a lot of those when I made my my Hexath'locke memorial image at the end, because I wanted to have different angles and stuff of the Pokemon, and Gen 5, man, they gave us those awesome full body animated pixel sprites. Even from, you know, the back sprites were full body and everything is what I mean. So, like, yeah, that Gen 5 was kind of the pinnacle of that sort of thing. And I loved these old, like, 8-bit ones as well, but that was definitely a very cool thing that Gen 5 added. But then again, in Gen 6 and 7, we move into the models and everything like that, and it's the natural progression. It's where it needed to go, but I miss it. I still do. There we go. Romeo grew to level 13. Learn Water Gun, you stupid. There we go. There we go. Our little lover boy here is now a lover and a fighter, which will be useful because, yikes, this scratching onyxes to death is not really the ideal way to go. So this will be a nice quick path here for us now, probably. We go from a level 11 Onyx to a level 4 Geodude. I guess this guy's got 3 Pokemon, so they gotta scale it appropriately. There we go. Maybe Russell's about to send in Geodude. Yeah, let's get... I don't want him outpacing Juliet too much, so let's get Juliet in here, and then we'll switch back into Romeo, I think will be the plan. Juliet, I think she gets Hypnosis before too long, but I could be mistaken. But yeah, so... it's just kind of cool to, you know, play these older games, and you know, you have to look at them, like, as I was saying before, the point was to look at them from the mindset of, like, when they first came out. It's you know, it's unfair to judge a, you know, almost 20-year-old game by today's standards. Dude. Yeah, we'll go back to Juliet. Because really, Gen 2 is revolutionary when it first came out. And so we gotta recognize that and give it its due props. It's probably still... Now, we had this distinction, too. It's like... I was gonna say Gen 2 are my favorite games, but I include, you know, I say that meaning strictly, you know, Gold, Silver. But at the same time, in my mind, I include Heart Gold, Soul Silver in that as well, because those are probably my actual favorite games of the whole Pokemon series. Is probably like Heart Gold, because I loved the Pokemon following behind mechanic and everything like that. And then Johto is just like my favorite region, and so it definitely is a nice soft spot for me there. But definitely Gold, Silver have been my favorite for a very long time. Alright, Coughing comes out. Alright, so he should be more physically defensive, so let's throw up the Water Gun. Boom, baby. Coughing goes for the tackle. Water Gun will do. There we go. Everybody's about to use Coughing. We'll change. We'll get Juliet up here. Bring Romeo back in. Just make sure he doesn't outpace his wife. I guess wife is the appropriate term. His lady friend. All right, there we go. Yeah, somebody mentioned at some point doing some fan art for this series, and I was like, you know what? That's something I hadn't really thought about. Like, I never really get fan art for like specific series. Like I know. Aaron, who's been a long time viewer of mine. Let's see. Well, that's actually get him back to full with 1 potion, so we'll just do that. Like on her Heptath'locke and stuff, she got tons of fan art, and I've never really had that. But that would be kind of cool if you guys wanted to do some cool little fan art things of the Pokemon here. In fact, let's go ahead. I'm going to the very least. We did pick up a Repel at one point, didn't we? Yeah. Nope, not the Miracle Seed. We're going to use the Repel. And let's actually switch Juliet up front. Alright, I think... Yeah, we can get out here. And this episode's getting a little long. Let's grab this berry, Poison Cure Berry. Not bad. Is she a trainer? Finally got through that cave. It was much bigger than I expected. Got too tired to explore the whole world. Alright, so this is out. Is this guy a trainer here? Can we battle him? Yeah, let's battle this guy. And then we'll probably call it a day. I'll do a little bit more exploring of the cave, probably on my own. Breather sent out Vulpix, level 9. That'll be some good experience. Let's get, I bet, Romeo and Juliet level up on this one. Well, maybe. I guess Romeo's got a little further to go than I expected. But yeah, I'll do a little bit more exploring of this probably off camera, and we'll pick up next episode, probably planning to do the Slowpoke Well and the gym in the same episode, kind of like we did with the Bellsprout Tower and the first gym. So we'll plan on doing those, and then the episode after that we'll go through Ilex Forest, you know, so forth and so on. So that'll work out nicely. But I don't want these episodes to get too long for you guys. Are you somebody I can? Oh yeah, we got another battle here. That's all right. It's all right. We're not even, you know, we're still in the 20s here, so we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Hiker Anthony sent out Geodude, level 11. So level 11, it is gonna know a rock move. So we're gonna switch on around. Let's see, Romeo's gonna take that. Throw up the water gun. Now that we got the water gun going, that's exciting. That's exciting. It took us way too long, but yeah, there we go. Romeo gets 100. Oh, send him a chop. We'll torch change Pokemon. Ooh, let's leave Romeo in because I'd love for him to ding here. But then let's switch back into Juliet, and she can peck him. Ah, your attack missed because I am not low, I am high. I'll throw the peck up. Use a little kick. Ooh, that scared me for a second there, but no, we're doing all right. And critical hit, Juliet. Everybody picking up the Queen of Crits mantle. Romeo level 15. Hiker Anthony was defeated. There we go. All right, so we are now in Azalea Town here. Got the rocket guy who we will deal with next episode. We're going to pop into the Pokemon Center. Spells effect wore off. Well, fantastic. Welcome to Pokemon Center. We can heal your Pokemon up to hell. Should we heal Pokemon? Yes. That's going to be it for today, guys. We caught a couple of, well, we tried to catch a couple of Pokemon, but we did get a Wooper, which is kind of exciting. Bill's PC. So the way my rules work, okay, so we have, oh, we've got the egg in here too. I have to figure out how I want to do, I guess like, I should probably just like pick a town and like hatch this egg. I don't know if the Togepi is going to be useful in this generation, but we might end up using it. But we do have, so we have Napoleon and Gohan, which are two males, so we can't make a pair out of them. Not that I would really want to pair like Wooper with a Rattata or something necessarily. Not that Rattata can't be useful, but the way my rules are going to work is it's going to be kind of like if you guys, I mentioned Erin's Idlelock earlier. If you guys have watched Erin's series, she did a series called an Idlelock where she had she had three groups of three that she would rotate out. So she would have two, obviously, groups of three, which makes six on her team at any given time, but she could switch one of those teams out as needed. But it was kind of like the Wedlocke where she could, that team, those groups of three could only battle within themselves. Probably going to do it more like that than like the actual Wedlocke rules. The Wedlocke rules state, you know, if you want to deposit a Pokemon in the PC, you have to basically kill that Pokemon. You can't like take it off your team for any other reason besides death. And I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to do it more like Erin's Idlelock, where they're kind of set pairs. So if Juliet needs to come off the team, then Romeo's got to come off too, sort of thing. But these two can go off, and then I could pick up, you know, if I wanted to, you know, Napoleon, and you know, if we find a Pokemon that I, you know, would be good for a Wooper, we'll throw Josephine in there as well. But that's all assuming that, you know, let's say Romeo doesn't die first, and that it's like, well, I've got another water Pokemon in the box. We can replace Romeo with Napoleon, sort of thing. Yeah, that's a little gruesome stuff that we don't need to worry about just yet. We're doing okay. Probably do a tiny bit of grinding considering we've got a gym coming up. I don't know if it's necessary to get everyone up to Romeo's level 15, but maybe I'll have to look, because I know we've got Team Rocket and we've got the gym coming up. We'll probably save the rival battle for the Ilex Forest episode. But yeah, anyway guys, we're just rambling at this point. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Torm the Gray, and you guys have been great. Let me know your most BS Pokemon encounter. That Onix, man, blowing through all of my Pokeballs. I don't think there's a Pokemart in town, is there? No, because we've got Kurt here, probably. So there's probably not a... Oh, no, there is a Mart. I'm gonna quick buy some Pokeballs. But yeah, let me know your most BS encounter like that. Alright, and we're gonna buy 10. It's less than half of our money, so that'll be fine. Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Torm the Gray, and you guys have been great. Make sure those likes, comments, subscriptions for me, guys, and I will see you all back here next time. Alrighty, guys, have a good one.